Okay, today I'm going to be rating in this tier list all of the dual land cycles. First up we have Rejuvenating Springs, yeah, so the turn tap. In command, this is quite good. I'd say it's amazing. It's not necessarily the best. I've seen a few games where it enters tap because if it's you and the last opponent wasn't too big of a deal, but still. The bounce lands, I would say they're playable. They're not the best, they're not amazing, they're not worse than basics, and they're never playable, but they're playable. They give you good card advantage. My dad in one of his decks is one of them to give, so you can be winning last land because you played that, you bounce a land, and you have an extra land. The artifact lands, I'm again gonna put in playable. The amazing in some strategies. I know in there's some formats that have affinity for artifact decks, and those use these, and they're really good in decks that care about having a lot of artifacts. But in general, not too good. What is that? What is that? What is that? Zoom in there. I cannot. Oh, the basic land type checkers. Those are playable again. I think there's gonna be a lot of playable here. It's like, this one I feel like worse than basic. I might change it from worse than basics to, barely playable. Real quick. There you go. That's nice, but barely, but does not matter. We'll put that in there. That's the Squarelands. It's just like, it's a lot of mana to invest. Depending on your cards, it could be good, but even the lands at default Square, it's repeatable, but that's barely playable. It's not actually, it might be never playable. It's just not. These ones, I think it's 4, Investigate, enters tapped. Yeah, never playable. I'm actually I'm with the bounce land. So excuse me, into barely playable as well. They're good, just not too good. These images are very small. Oh, that kind of helps. Kind of. Oh yeah, the deserts. I'm gonna say they're never playable. They're very playable. They're kind of like a bit. I'll say a bit better. No, a bit worse than Life Gain. About the same quality. They're not too bad. Oh, the generic tap lands. Yeah, never playable. I feel like a lot. Not like never play, but just like they're just never the best option. These are barely playable. They're typed stuff, things that care about type, like these lands. Really like them, and you can search for them. You can also cycle them, but dual force lands are playable. I would say they're amazing because they're spells. They can also be lands. The fast lands, barely playable. They're like, I feel like unlike the slow lands, they don't get better over time. They just get worse. So it's really hard. It's really bad when you draw. It's just not bad, but it's just, it will feel bad when you draw those later in the game. The search lands, whew, those are good. Those are good. I'm putting those in amazing. They're not the best, but they're amazing. They're a cornerstone of a lot of formats. This, I would say it's amazing. I might put some They're really good. They're really good, especially in 2-color decks, because now you have access to all your colors and it taps a specific colors. The king lands, playable, barely playable. In some formats, they're amazing if that's the best you can do, but you're not that good. The gates, I don't know if barely playable, though I think there are some decks that care about gates, but about the gates, but mostly they're not good. Oh yeah. These ones, I'm putting these in barely playable. Like, you can do it. It's good card draw, but I hate them. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, and they come in a lot of the Doctor Who precons, and it's just like, I immediately take them out. Like here, actually, right behind me, we have a Black and Class precon. I don't know if you could see it too well, but I have a Blossom Precon, and I immediately took out both of those and put in a Fabled Passage and one of the typed tri-lands because they're much better. All these ones don't know they search for something. I'm gonna put those in barely playable. They're white, but definitely not the best. But you can play them. They're not like they're bad, but like these ones are play. Maybe not never playable, but still like worse. I feel like barely playable is probably, but like this thing just can't be played. Um, oh, the manlands. I'm gonna put those in playable. They're really good in Commander. I play a lot of that, so why they're really good because they can become a creature, but sometimes they aren't the best. Oh, these ones though don't untap lands after using them for color. I would say they're barely playable. They're good, but that's a big downside, but still playable. With no dual lands, the best. Like with no dual lands. I'm gonna put the pain lands in amazing. I love the pain lands. They're really good. They come in untapped. These ones amazing. They can't produce either, but they can produce. Yeah, they don't produce either on the battlefield, but when you play them, you get to choose. So, in 2-color decks, instantly have access to all your colors. In other decks, if you're missing both, it might be feel a bit bad, especially if you need both right at that moment. But still, really good. Oh, Shocklands. I'm gonna put this in the best as well. They're a bit worse, but they're still Titan. It costs 2 life, which in Command is not too big of a deal. The first one's amazing. It's basically I don't think too many downsides. Like, it's really only that you can't use it turn 1, but other than that, you just you get mana even if you tap 1 land to activate it. Why it's really good. Oh yeah, the slow lands. If it does amazing as well. I love the slow lands. They're really good because like at the beginning of the game, absolutely terrible. But later on in the game, they're really good because they're just untapped after like turn 2. So I feel like I like the slow lands. The first 2 turns, especially in Commander, you might not be playing too much. So even if it's the only land you can play, it's not too much of a feel bad. The reveal lands. I'm gonna put those in playable. And I think I think I put they're playable because especially in 2-color decks, you probably will have one of the typed, especially if you're playing a lot of typed lands. They're really good, though a lot of times if you have a mana base that doesn't have a lot of typed lands, not going to be that good, but still really good in a lot of circumstances. We have the sack draw lands. I'm gonna put those in barely playable. The draw is, I think, a lot better than like the scry, which is the same mana if I keep it. Or like the generic tapped, or the investigate. Investigate's a bit better playable actually. The investigate lands, just because like investigating is a bit better than like just entering tap doing nothing. No, and the 4 tap scry 1 is not enough. This one's I'm gonna put in playable. They're playable. They're typed. And I put these ones in playable because they're not. Actually, I would put those in playable. Cycle lines is playable. And this one's snow mana, so if you care about that, really good. I don't know. I've never seen this cycle before, but just reading it, I'm gonna put it in playable. I don't know if you can see it there. Tap, so generic. Pay 1, tap it, put a siege counter on it, and then pay 1, move X storage counters from the land and add X mana. I cannot see that well. I'm gonna open that image in a new tab and read it. I've actually never seen that land type before. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah. I'm putting that playable, yeah. That's the playable land. Oh, the shrivel lands I'm putting in amazing. Lands are tapped, but shrivel is a lot better than scrying. Actually, I'll put the scry lands. I'm putting these in barely playable. I know a lot of people. You see a lot of playing commander, but I just really don't like that. They're good. I might move them to playable even, just because. Oh no, that's the one. That's no Lisa. Because Squire 1 is really good, but not good, but like okay for land. But I think it's also just that like it's kind of, I think, yes, not as good. It's definitely playable, but I'm putting these in playable as well. We're getting two color decks and decks that care about land types, but eh. Oh, the basic lands, low lands. I'm putting those in playable as well. If you're running, once again, oh, that's the one. Once again, in two colored, um, decks, these lands are really good because they often, while this one you can activate it easily, and this one comes in untapped. Which more colors you get, I think the worse some of these lands become, but overall, still pretty good. The search lands that enter tapped, those are going into amazing. I might actually move these up to the best. Yeah. And not necessarily as good as these ones, but they don't come with that life. But like they're amazing. They can be really good. Actually, might just move them into playable. Not too good still. So right. Oh, these slow tapped, barely playable. Just the pain lands, but they enter tapped. I didn't even know that existed, but I was reading that. I was like, this is just the pain lands, but no, that's just the pain lands, but they enter tapped. That's a lot of text, and I don't think I've seen this card before. Oh, yeah, the tribal lands. Those are going into playable. If you're playing that tribal, if you're playing if you're playing that creature type, really good. Otherwise, not that good. Oh, the just generic typed. I'm gonna barely playable. It's more playable than the generic type land. Is that Snowland? It is. I'll put that into barely playable if you need it. I'm putting the generic type land too. Never playable. No. I think I did play this once, but I'm just kind of like, I'm really thinking about a normal commander. I didn't play that once, and I built a Pauper commander deck. But yeah, to sum it up, the only things that never playable are the Skylands enter tap, pay for Sky 1, the generic tap lands, but just because I can never see those really being played, you have so many better options in every way. Barely playable, cards that I can see them being played, and I think they do see play, but in specific circumstances, but really in a lot of decks, unless you need to, you probably shouldn't be playing these. These are, the tap Snowland, the type tap, the tapped Painland, investigate lands, draw lands, the don't untap lands, I don't know what those called. The basic searches. Oh no, that's not just basics. I'll put that in the playbook. Okay. The pain sack land. What you can see it. I think, right? Pay one life and you add it. The gates, the gains, the fast, the pain, and the bounce. I'll put the bounce in the playable. Actually, I think not that bad. So yeah, bounce, sack searches. Well, the sack searches that cost mana. Like the. Actually, I might move this one up to amazing. I feel like this is not white. You see a clear tier of these ones, and then yes, the tribal ones, the the activate, only if you control that land type. Um, the slow lands, but for basics. Scry. This one's called the counters, the cycle, the snow dual lands, the type snow dual lands. The Olivia lands, the man lands, the land type lands that care about coming on tap, the artifact dual lands, the tapped dual land searches, and the shrivel land, the type shrivel lands. These are just now amazing enemies. Slow lands filters, the double-sided, both the double-sided. The other filter land, the pain lands, and the opponent check lands, and yes, the best basic duels, shocks, and then the modern fetches. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.